Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show, people. My name is Ben. We're here to answer your shooting questions. On deck today, Nick, the not Dick Yantola.
I guess. I'm only Dick sometimes.
Yeah. Alex, the Snow Mexican Burdot. Yes.
That's it. What's up?
And, well, Hopkins. I'm not really sure, like, a fun name for you. Hoppy Cakes.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom. It's me, Ben. Let's get to the questions, guys, because that's what everybody comes here for. Here we go. This guy sent a whole litany of major match questions, like 6 of them. So we'll go around the horn, so to speak, on this. When preparing for a major match, do you bring a backup gun? Burdot, go.
Yes.
Why?
Just because. That's what the cool guys do.
Do you have a gun only for major matches?
No.
Do you do
I have a gun for matches.
Do you do a complete detailed strip clean and relube of your match gun?
Probably not, and not often.
Do you have separate magazines for major matches? We've talked about this. This motherfucker had like 6 magazines total.
Yeah, me. Yeah. So
no. In a country that is 10-round magazines.
Yeah. No, actually, I do. I would have separate magazines for not for major matches, but for international matches. So these are the magazines that are not usable when I'm in Canada because they're pinned, and I cannot insert them in the gun. So, but when I exit the country, I unpin them to be at a normal capacity, I would say.
Normal.
So they're modifiable by you without any major tools.
Well, it requires a drill. Yeah.
Okay. That's still incredibly retarded.
Oh, that's the law.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have ammo set aside for major matches that is case gauged and boxed?
I case gauge my ammo, just my match ammo. That's it. No, nothing different for major matches.
Do you have a separate shooting bag for major matches?
No.
All right, Hopkins, here we go.
Yeah.
Do you bring a backup gun?
Yes.
Do you have a gun only for major matches?
No.
Do you do a complete detailed strip clean and relube of your match gun?
No.
Do you have separate magazines for major matches?
Yes.
For major matches or all matches?
I like matches. I don't use practice mags.
All right.
Well, yeah, just matches.
Do you have ammo set aside for major matches?
Absolutely.
Do you have separate shooting bag for major matches?
No, that makes no sense.
All right, Nick.
Oh, man. This is a sore subject with me right now.
Oh, please tell us. We'd love to, kind of feel your pain in front of a bunch of people.
So not only should you bring a backup gun, but it should actually work in case you ever use it. So I've had to use a backup gun one time in my life, and it didn't go well. And that's bad. It's not a good situation. So make sure your backup gun is there. Make sure it works. And make sure you do scheduled maintenance on your actual match gun so that it doesn't break. Just take my word for it. So to answer the question, yes, I'd bring a backup gun. Sort of. Do I have a gun only for major matches? No. Typically, I'm shooting one gun in matches and one gun for everything else, though, whether it's like practice or dry fire. So I'm putting the vast amount of the wear on a different gun. I try to keep a match gun that I'll shoot club matches and major matches with, but I try to keep it in good shape mechanically. Try being the operative word. Do I do a detailed strip? Yeah, I do about once a year. I take it all the way apart, clean everything off the inside. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but it makes me feel good. Do I have separate magazines? Yes, I have basically one set of magazines that I use for all matches, and then another set that I'm using for dry fire / practice. So again, the idea is to concentrate most of the wear into some practice gear that's not actually being used when it counts. Do I have a separate shooting bag? No. Do I use separate ammo? Yes. I definitely spend a lot more time with my major match ammo. So I use a different bullet that's highly consistent. I case gauge 100%. I do frequent chrono checks and all that. So yes, I do treat that ammo much differently than practice ammo, and it's set aside just for majors.
Well, I will say this to address this guy's question maybe in a more direct way. I got 2 sets of gear. There's very clear delineation. There's training gear, which is gear I don't give a fuck about. Use it in classes, practice magazines, drop them on the ground all day long. I'll take a practice gun and pound a nail into the wall with it. Like, I don't give a fuck about that gear. I really don't. My match stuff, I try to be nice to it. I do maintenance on it. If there's some sort of an issue, I take it very seriously and try and fix it right away. That's 2 guns. They're both going with me to a big match. I will do a detailed strip clean and re-lube of my main gun before I shoot a match. Well, it'll actually be so I'll like detail strip it and put it back together and go shoot a couple hundred rounds through it to make sure it works and then take it. I keep the ammo tight, the ammo situation tight. I don't have a separate shooting bag because that doesn't even make sense to me, but everything else I do. So I do everything I can do to make sure my shit's going to work at a big match. I take that stuff pretty seriously. So I hate it when my gun doesn't work. Me no likey. All right. Well, I think we beat that one to the ground, huh? Yeah? All right, let's go to the next one. My apologies if this has already been asked. Do you think that a 22 conversion for your competition platform is a viable form of training, or would that money be better spent on simply reloading standard loads? I could do either, but the 22 conversion would be better for the long run. For cost and time savings, thank you for your show. I recently discovered it and enjoyed listening during different phases of my work. Hopkins, 22.
In this climate with reloading, it doesn't really make sense, honestly.
Really doesn't, does it?
Oh, I mean, you can reload for the same price 22 ammo is right now. So you're not really cost saving anything. Plus, you got to buy the adapter on top of it. If you want to shoot like a 22 game with your competition gun, then it makes sense.
Makes sense to me. What do you think, Burdett?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, I don't know what's the ammo cost of the 22 now, but yeah, it's more expensive than it was like a couple of years ago. So, and you don't get the same feeling. It jams, and so
Can't do
I would
reloads.
say just reload, get a Mark 7, reload, and you won't spend so much time reloading.
I like it.
No, but yeah, I mean, you just better off like shooting less and doing more dry fire and managing your ammo for when it's important. If you really want to save cost, but yeah, no, you better shoot all the time. the
Has
same thing
anybody
you're
here
shooting.
done extensive shooting with a 22? Like really been serious about it?
No, I haven't. I thought you had it.
I have. I think I'm the only person here that did. I did it for a while. This was, I don't know, 2009 and 2010 when I had a conversion for a Beretta, so like same holster and all that shit. And I liked it, but it was there was a lot of issues with it. Like you had to make the targets a lot harder, just because the 22 is so much easier to shoot. I didn't like doing multiple shots on the same target, so I was basically shooting it like 8-inch plates at like 30 yards, practicing movements and stuff. And I'm not going to say that it was a waste of time. It wasn't. I enjoyed it and it was fine. But with how the prices are for ammunition now and what we're doing in dry fire now, I personally would not dick around with a 22 conversion. I just wouldn't do it. There is upside there, but there's other ways to do the same thing, just using conventional ammunition. So I wouldn't bother with it. But I know, Nick, what were you going to say?
No, exactly the same. It's just I don't shoot any 22 ever really for anything, so I don't pay that close attention to the market. But if it was last time I did look, it was very close cost wise with reloading 9mm if you're doing that the right way. So, given all the other issues with it, it doesn't interest me at this point, and I doubt that it ever will.
Yeah. I mean, 9mm is gay enough, right?
I mean,
Not even a smile at a Hopkins. Look at that son of a bitch. That was funny.
I'm sorry, I actually wasn't paying attention.
CZ doesn't make any 45-man pistols, do they? It's all 9mm and 40.
Yeah.
We have a 45.
You do?
We have 19mm and a 97B.
Dan Wesson.
Hey, what is the deal with Dan Wesson? Like, what is that? Who is that? Like, why is that a different brand?
It's they've been their own brand since like the 70s, or it could be longer, I don't know. But we bought them back, I think, 20 years ago or something.
Oh,
So
really?
they split off of CZ?
No. CZ bought Dan Wesson
Okay.
when they came to the States early on when they were here. Still continue to have their facility in New York, build all the guns out of there.
New York's not great for guns anymore, is it?
It's not the best for people, like having guns there.
No, it sure isn't. All right, guys. Well, another Bang Up podcast. Thank you so much for coming on. Listeners, if you have a question you'd like the answer to, go to bensteiger.com. Send me your questions. We'd love to take them from you.